Welcome to the lecture on electromagnetic field theory. We will solve some of the problems on transmission line. The contents of the lectures are to determine the primary and secondary constants. It is continued from the last lecture, and power of a transmission line determination and impedance matching by short circuited and open circuited line, and also single stub matching, and also you have to determine the standing wave ratio and reflection coefficient. We'll solve one problem. The problem is a 50 ohm lossless line is terminated in a load impedance as shown in figure A. In the figure A, characteristic impedance is equal to 50 ohm and load impedance is equal to ZL is equal to 30 minus J20 ohm. You have to find the reflection coefficient and the voltage standing wave ratio. In BBIT, it has been proposed that by placing an appropriate selected resistor across the line at a distance D maximum from the load shown in figure B, where D maximum is the distance from the load to the first V maximum, then it is possible to render Zin is equal to Z0, thereby eliminating the reflections. So the proposed approach is valid and find the value of the shunt resistance. So we know that the formula for reflection coefficient is given by load impedance ZL minus characteristic impedance Z0 whole divided by load impedance ZL plus characteristic impedance Z0. Substitute the value of ZL is 30 minus J20 and the value of Z0 is 50 in the numerator, and also in the denominator we will get 30 minus J20 plus 50. If you simplify this, you will get minus 20 minus J20 divided by 80 minus J20. If you convert this rectangular to polar in the numerator and also rectangle to polar in the denominator, and you divide these polar values, you will get 0.35, 54, and the angle is that is minus 121 degree. And the standing wave ratio is given by 1 plus magnitude of reflection coefficient whole divided by 1 minus magnitude of reflection coefficient. The reflection coefficient magnitude is 0.34. We substitute here 1 plus 0.34 divided by 1 minus 0.34. We get this value is equal to 2. Next solution for the D. The distance D maximum at V maximum nearest to the load. D maximum is given by the angle theta for reflection coefficient and the wavelength lambda whole divided by 4 pi plus lambda divided by 2. So here theta is minus 121 degree. We have to convert degree to radian. Then this is equal to minus 121 degree into pi by 180 degree. This will become radian into lambda divided by 4 pi plus lambda by 2. If you simplify this, you will get 0.33 lambda. Next, BL, the maximum is given by 2 pi by lambda. The beta is 2 pi by lambda, and this LD maximum is 0.33 lambda. If you substitute here and you lambda cancel out, so 2 pi into 0.33 is equal to 2.07 radians. Next, the formula for Zn is equal to Z0 into bracket ZL plus J Z0 tan beta L, since alpha is equal to 0, whole divided by Z0 plus J ZL tan beta L. Substitute the value of Z0, it is given as 50. It's a bracket, ZL is 30 minus J20 plus J into Z0 50. Tan of angle is 2.07 radian. Whole divided by 50 plus J30 minus J into 20 tan of 2.07 radian. If you simplify this, first you convert again rectangular to polar in the numerator and rectangular to polar in the denominator using the calculator, and you divide these two, you will get the answer in polar form. Then again you convert back to the polar to rectangular by using the calculator, you will get Zn is equal to 102 plus J0. Therefore, since R is in shunt with the that is Zn, that whole is equal to, there is parallel combination of these two, therefore this is equal to 1 by R plus 1 by Zn is equal to 1 by Z0. Substitute the value of Zn, that is 1 by 102, 1 by R, this is equal to 1 by 50. Therefore, if you simplify, you get R is equal to 98 ohm. Therefore, R is equal to 98 ohm to be placed to eliminate reflections on the transmission line. The next problem, the circuit below consists of a 100 ohm lossless transmission line terminated in a load with ZL is equal to 50 plus J 100 ohm. If the peak value or maximum value of VL is equal to 12 volt, to determine the time average power dissipated in the load, B bit the time average power incident on the line, C bit the time average power reflected by the load. Here it is given Z0 is equal to 100 ohm and Rg is the source resistance and Vg is the source voltage. So we know that reflection coefficient formula, that is gamma is equal to ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. This is equal to 50 plus J, 100 is ZL and Z0 is 100. Substitute the numerator and denominator, and if you simplify this, you will get minus 5 plus J10 whole divided by 15 plus J10. Again, you convert rectangular coordinate to polar in the numerator and rectangular to polar in the denominator and divide these two. You get 0.62 e raised to j, angle is 82.9 degree. The time average power distributed in the load is given by P average is equal to half into load current square into RL. Or you can write IL is equal to VL by ZL whole square into RL into 1 by 2. Substitute the value of, that is maximum value of VL is 12 volt. So 1 by 2 into 12 square into 50 divided by ZL is, magnitude ZL is given by 50 plus 100 whole square under root, and if you square this, the under root cancel out. If you simplify this, you will get 0.29 watt. But we know that P average is equal to P average incident into bracket 1 minus magnitude of tau square. Hence, P average incident is given by P average divided by 1 minus magnitude of reflection coefficient square. So P average we have calculated 0.29 watt whole divided by 1 minus magnitude of reflection coefficient is 0.62. Square this and divide, will get P average incident is equal to 0.47 watt. So next, P average transmitted is given by minus of, so magnitude of transmission reflection coefficient square into P average into incident, that is incident power. This is equal to, so here tau is equal to 0.62. You have to square this, and incident power, average power is given by 0.47. If you multiply these two, you will get minus 0.18 watt. Next, we'll see what are the short circuited and open circuited transmission line. We know that input impedance Zn is given by Z0 ZL cos hyperbolic gamma L plus Z0 sin hyperbolic gamma L whole divided by ZL sin hyperbolic gamma L plus Z0 cos hyperbolic gamma L. The line is short circuited, that is ZL is equal to 0. In the above equation, if you put ZL is equal to 0, the first term of this is 0, it is also 0. We get Z0 tan hyperbolic gamma L divided by Z0 tan hyperbolic gamma L. Z0 cancel out. We get the Z0 remains. Therefore, Z in short circuit equal to Z0 into tan hyperbolic gamma L. If the line is open circuited, that is you have to put ZL is equal to infinity. Then you take ZL outside here from the numerator and denominator and cancel out. You will get cos hyperbolic gamma L plus ZL by Z0 sin hyperbolic gamma L whole divided by sin hyperbolic gamma L plus Z0 by ZL cos hyperbolic gamma L. If you put ZL is equal to infinity, these two terms become 0 and simply you get Z0 into cot hyperbolic gamma L, that is Z in open circuit is equal to Z0 cot hyperbolic gamma L. For lossless line, alpha is equal to 0 and gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta, will get simply j beta. And also we know that cos hyperbolic j beta is equal to cos beta and sin hyperbolic j beta is equal to j into sin beta. Therefore, we know that Zn is equal to Z0 ZL plus j Z0 tan beta L whole divided by Z0 plus j ZL tan beta L. Therefore, Zn short circuited is given by, if we substitute here, the value ZL is equal to 0. We will get here j Z0 tan beta L as obtained in the above in the equation. Similarly, Zn open circuit is equal to j Z0 cot beta L by putting ZL is equal to infinity. So let us consider the different transmission line sections. Suppose if the line section is lambda by 4 length and it is shorted at one end and measure the input from the other end, that is open here. So this is equivalent to a parallel combination of inductor and capacitor. Next, if the line is opened at the both end, it will measure the input this side. So this will give the network containing inductance and capacitors in series. So next, if the given transmission line is length is less than lambda by 4, then this, if you short one end and open the other end, so this will be acting as a inductance. Again, the length of the line is less than lambda by 4 and it is open at both ends. You measure the input open circuit to this side. This will be acting as a capacitor. Next, stub. A quarter wave lambda by 4 length transformer may be used for matching the transmission line to the load ZL if ZL is purely resistive. If ZL is complex, impedance matching can be done by tuning out the reactive portion by an LRC and then match with lambda by 4 transformer. The transmission line with a short circuit at the far end is more often used than lumped components at higher frequency. Impedance matching by use of a stub. In low frequency, that is low RF spectrum, load can be matched to the characteristic impedance Z0 of a line by tuning out the load reactance and then transforming the resistive component of ZL to a value of Z0 of line. At very high frequency and microwave frequencies, small sections of transmission lines is connected with the main transmission line. The distance L from the load and the length L dash of the stub are chosen that the reflected wave produced by sending the impedance of the stub is equal and opposite to the reflected wave existing on the line at that point. Because of mismatched load ZL, thus the stub cancel out the reflected wave. Let us consider a transmission line with characteristic impedance Z0 and it is connected with a load ZL is equal to ZR is equal to Z0 and a stub is placed at a distance of length L here. The length of the stub is L dash. So this we have taken short circuited stub here. The formula to find the length, the point where the stub is to be placed, L is given by lambda by 2 pi tan inverse of under root of, that is the load resistance divided by characteristic resistance, and the length of the stub is given by L dash is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi tan inverse of R naught under root of R naught whole divided by R naught dash inside of bracket R minus R dash. This R naught dash is the characteristic impedance of the stub here. For lossless lines and short circuited lines, R naught dash is equal to matching the characteristic resistance. Next, we will solve one problem. A aerial or antenna is to be matched at a 100 MHz frequency to an open wire feeder having Z0 characteristic impedance by means of a short circuited stub across the feeder at an appropriate distance from the aerial. Find the point of attachment and the length of the stub, assuming both feeder and the stub are without losses, having same characteristic impedances. Assume input impedance of the aerial is 100 ohm and Z0 is equal to 600 ohm. So here the given R0 is equal to R0 is equal to 600 ohm, Zin is equal to RR is equal to 100 ohm, and frequency F is equal to 100 MHz is 100 into 10 raised to 6 Hz. So here this is network is shown here. RR is equal to R0 is equal to RL is equal to 100 ohm. And the length of the placing the stub is L here. The length of the stub is L dash. So that is AB is taken here. Next we know that by the formula L is equal to lambda by 2 pi tan inverse of RR by R0. But lambda is equal to C by F. C is velocity of light equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8. Frequency is F is equal to 10 raised to 8. This cancel out, you will get 3 meter. Therefore, L is equal to 3 by 2 pi tan inverse of RR by R0. But RR by R0 is given by RR is 100 and R0 is equal to 600. We get 1 by 6. If you substitute here, you will get L is equal to 3 by 2 pi tan inverse of 1 by 6. This is equal to 3 by 2 pi. At this angle tan inverse of 1 by 6 is equal to 22.2 degree. This you have to convert in radian. Therefore, you multiply pi by 180 degree here. Therefore, this L is equal to 0.185 meter distance of stub from the load impedance ZL. And the length of the stub L dash is given by lambda by 2 pi tan inverse of R0 under root of RR R0 whole divided by R0 dash under root of RR minus R0. Again, we have calculated lambda is equal to 3 meter and given as R0 is equal to R0 dash. We substitute the value here, lambda 3 meter, 3 by 2 pi, tan inverse of, instead of bracket, R0 is 600, under root of R0 is 600 into RR is 100, whole divided by 6, R0 dash equal to 600, under root of RR is equal to 100, minus R0 is equal to 600. If you simplify this here, we'll get 3 by 2 pi tan inverse of minus 2.56 divided by 5. Then we will get this is equal to minus tan inverse of this angle is tan inverse of 0.512 is equal to 26 degree. This you have to minus value here. Therefore, this is equal to L dash equal to 3 by 2 pi into 180 degree minus 26 degree. So this you have to convert in radian, again multiply into pi by 180 degree. Pi cancel out here and simplify this. You get 1.283 meter. Therefore, L dash is equal to 1.283 meter length of the stub. In this way, we can make use of that matching of the transmission line with different, that is length of the transmission lines, that is lambda by 2 length you take. You can take L is equal to lambda by 4, L is equal to lambda by 8, and short circuited stub and open circuited